People across the land have all been saying the same thing. Rice Shower is too hard to train. Gold Ship is too hard to train. Haru Urara was set up as an evil plot by Cygames to make me feel bad. Perhaps by going through what stats are most important for who, what, where, and when, we can achieve world peace. Firstly, speed, the more or less be-all end-all. I shouldn't have to tell you about this. Higher speed, faster girl. I'm pretty sure Einstein said that. It's important to note that what you have in your speed is your top speed, not the rate at which you're consistently moving. Your Uma will typically only reach top speed when she's in her last spurt. I've described stamina before as your HP. Stamina constantly depletes in a race, and when it gets too low, your Uma's speed drastically go down. The faster and longer your Uma is running for, the more stamina gets used up. You can recover a bit of this with skills, but the higher it is, the less you'll have to worry about pace-wise. Power is important primarily for acceleration and overtaking opponents. The more power you have, the easier time you'll have getting to your top speed, managing hills on the track, and busting out of the pack. Power is also lowered if the track is in poor condition, which I'll touch back on later. Guts sure is a stat, that much is certain. Its primary function is to manage your stamina consumption in the last spurt, so the more you have, the less you lose. The ancient hieroglyphics I saw at Burger King also say that if you have a high enough stamina, you can sort of neglect Guts, but as someone who likes it when all my stats are balanced like a maniac, I try to pay attention to it. Wit also sometimes gets neglected, but is responsible for skill activation, avoiding and recovering from debuffs, avoiding panic states, and effectively executing strategies. So that's all well and good, I've talked about those before, but where do they see the most use? In terms of distance, the only thing you really need to be concerned about is where your stamina should be, and to a degree, Guts, so you can manage it in the last spurt. Less stamina is needed for a 1,000 meter race than a 3,200 meter race, as we all know. Strategies are where things get a little funky. Let's talk Gold Ship and Rice Shower. Both these characters partake in several long distance races over the course of their career, so stamina is a must for them. Where they differ, however, is their style of racing. Gold Ship, famously, is the only end closer not named Narita Taishin we've got at this moment, so she needs to train with a bit more power in mind, since she needs to cover more ground more quickly than Rice Shower, a pace chaser. I also like to give a little bit of special focus to Guts for late surgers and end closers for that reason, but that's just because I buy into the Guts scam. Dirt racers like Urara need special attention to power because power is a much more important stat on dirt. Think of dirt races as an automatic debuff to your power stats, so you need to keep that high if you intend to race on them. Like I said earlier, this is also true for track conditions, so worse conditions like snow or rain will also decrease your power. When I was describing stamina, you may have realized it, but frontrunners also use a lot of stamina to keep ahead for most of the race. Short distance frontrunners like Bakshin are sort of an exception due to distance, but not even Bakshin can Bakshin for 1,200 meters straight if she lacks the stamina to do so. Sometimes sport card decks can get funky for these too. For example, I try to bring 2 speed cards and 1 of every other stat normally. I know some folks recommend 3 speed cards, but I just can't abandon poor Ines Fujin, but hey, I can be wrong. It's happened before. If I were to change that up, I might not bring a stamina card for short distance or mile distance races since it's less important there and bring another power card or some sort. For a dirt racing Uma, I might drop Guts for a second power card as well. For long distance racers, you might want to even bring 2 stamina cards in addition to 2 speed cards, but these are merely hypotheticals because I must have uniformity. If you still need help in training someone specific, you can check the predictions button before a race and see if there are any X's or triangles that indicate you should probably train those stats more. Sometimes they sneak up on you, like with El Condor Pasa having mostly mile and middle distance races and throwing the Arima Keenan at you, so you might want to check the details tab to see what's coming up so you can prepare. If you lose a race, Tazuna will also tell you what you might be missing and you can go up from there as well. So to summarize, bashing your head into a speed-shaped wall isn't always the answer. That's only the answer like 20% of the time.